is full of job opportunities. You just need to find the right fit for yourself. In this module, we have brought for you another great option which gives you a broad horizon to spread your freelancing wings. Let's dive right in. A freelance job is one where a person works for themselves rather than for a company. While freelancers do take on contract work for companies and organizations, they're ultimately self-employed. Freelancers are responsible for all sorts of things that traditional employees are not, such as setting the work hours, keeping track of the time spent on different projects, billing clients, and paying their own employment and business taxes. Freelancers are not considered employees by the companies that they work for, but rather contractors. When you're searching for freelance jobs, there are a number of different terms to be aware of. These can be used to help you find freelance job openings, and they're also useful when describing yourself and the work that you do. The first is freelance job, which is the widely used term to find jobs. The second is contract work. These are jobs where you're a temporary contract worker rather than a permanent employee. The next is contract job, which is the same as contract work. And the last is independent contractor, which is another common way to say freelancer. Your work terms are specified by a contract with another company or individual, and this is how the IRS classifies this type of work. Here we have categorized freelancing jobs for you and the types of freelancers as well. Let's have a look. First, we have full-time freelancers, contract freelancers, side hustle freelancers, freelance business owners, and consultants. For most of us, freelancing full-time seems like a dream come true. We get to be our own boss, work our own hours, and are responsible for our own success. It all sounds great, and it is, but freelancing full-time isn't for everyone. While some freelancers thrive on being their own boss, others find that they're not as good at working for themselves as they were working for a company or in their 9-to-5 job. Before you take the plunge, consider the following aspects of a freelancer's life to see if it's your cup of tea. First, they earn their primary income from freelancing. They need to deal with their clients on their own. Now, unless you've directly dealt with your company's customers and clients during your office years, your very first roadblock is going to be dealing with the clients directly. When interacting with your clients, you need to be courteous, direct, and helpful in your communications with them. There's really no room for exasperation or sarcasm, even when they are being a bit horrid to work with. Think of it this way. Your client is now your boss, and you have to treat them like one. They work alone for most of their working hours. Freelancing can be a lonely profession. While previously you worked right in the middle of the hustle and bustle of an office environment, now you're working from home, isolated from a society. So all the accountability lies on your shoulder. Freelancing is a full-time job, which means that you're responsible for yourself and your work more than ever. There's no one around to monitor how much work you're getting done or whether you're meeting the deadlines. For you to be successful as a freelancer, you need to be accountable for yourself. Otherwise, you might end up spending half the day tweeting and going through your RSS reader. Self-discipline is the need of the job. If you sleep and wake up late, your entire day gets realigned. Instead of working through the morning, you're working through the night. Not only is that unhealthy, but it also turns all your waking hours into working ones. Stick to your office-going work hours, and your freelancing business has a good chance of making it. After all, clients don't burn the midnight oil. They keep to office hours, and that's also when they are most likely to contact you with the latest updates. So keep yourself available. And finally, remember that the art of negotiation is a must. In a full-time job, you're paid a fixed salary each month with a raise every year, medical insurance, paid leave, and other perks. In freelancing, your earnings are directly dependent on your rates, and there are no perks in freelancing. In order to succeed, you need to be able to negotiate reasonable freelancing rates for yourself. There's nothing wrong with starting out with lower rates, as long as you steadily raise them, as you gain a reputation for yourself and are always improving your skill set to deserve higher pay. Independent contractors can work like freelancers, with multiple clients on a per-project basis. But generally, they work with one company at a time for an extended and specified period, the contract, and they are paid by the hour. They may be contracting themselves out and thus reporting their own taxes. Or they may be placed in the contract by a third-party agency, in which they'll receive a W-2. Completely independent contractors, so-called 1099 workers, do not receive employee benefits. Agency-placed contractors, W-2 contractors, often have access to a limited menu of benefits, such as a non-matching 401k or an FSA. Like freelancers, 1099 contractors have clients. W-2 contractors are employees of the agency that placed them, but they continue to function in something more like a client relationship with the companies they're working for. A side hustle is any type of employment undertaken in addition to one's full-time job. A side hustle is generally freelance or piecework in nature, providing a supplemental income. Side hustles are often things a person is passionate about, rather than just making the ends meet. A side hustle is work completed outside of one's day job, and therefore the work tends to take place during evenings, on weekends, or during vacation breaks. It provides additional income while offering the flexibility to complete the work outside of the traditional 9 to 5 hours. You can start your own side hustle, or you can complete work on a freelance, contract, on-call, or part-time basis for a company. For those who aren't quite ready to quit their day job or are terrified by the prospect of becoming an entrepreneur, side hustles can provide an outlet to explore passions, test your ideas, and grow a solid customer base should they ultimately decide that they want to give notice. A freelance business is one that's started and run by an individual who works for themselves, generally through independent contract work. Freelancers are responsible for handling aspects of their business that typical employees would not, including setting their own hours, determining price, pursuing contract work, and paying business taxes. Starting a freelance business is an exciting prospect. Perks like setting your own hours and pursuing your passions are certainly attractive, but a lot of effort, strategy, and planning goes into earning those benefits. Take care of the following points while you start your own business. Treat freelancing as a full-blown business. You can work alone or have a team. Time management and organization skills are key. Practice professionalism to handle it as a full-blown business. Take plenty of initiative. Set your own principles to grow your business. And always evaluate your business goals. Consulting is one of those career field buzzwords that is a bit vague and undefined. It sounds as though almost anyone can start a career as a consultant, but what does that actually mean? And how do people typically get started as a freelance consultant? To begin, let's define what consulting is and who typically does it. It's a vague word because of what it actually describes. Essentially, consultants are people with particular areas of expertise, and they're found in almost every career field. Freelance consultants are hired by companies and organizations to tackle problems and provide solutions. They might help plan a company's next strategic market move or assist in figuring out a shift in the company's processes to make them more productive or streamlined. The following features are key to become a freelance consultant. They work with various companies and projects for a stipulated time. They need to develop strategies to get their clients. They have a client intake process. They need to practice value-based pricing, and finally, they own the engagement. Freelancers ultimately can decide how much they want to get paid for the hard work that they put in. We have listed down 3 methods of payment which you can opt for as per your work. The first is a fixed fee. Once you have the idea of the profit, you can fix your fee as per the project. Next is a monthly subscription or retainer. If you are selling any sorts of services, over time you will develop a monthly subscription. And finally, we have weekly or iteration. If you're working on a long-term project where profit might keep on fluctuating, weekly payment is the best. Having control over your workload, the clients you work with, and your income is a big benefit of freelancing. When you freelance, you are the one in the driver's seat. You determine what jobs to take on, which clients you want to work for, and your pay rate. Depending on your level of expertise, it could be possible to work part-time hours but make full-time pay. Flexibility and remote work are also a big perk. Most of the time, working on freelance projects will involve working at your home office and working the hours that you so choose. You'll absolutely have deadlines to meet, but you will decide when and where you work. A few of the benefits that come with freelancing is having the freedom of choice. Freelancers have the unique ability to choose the clients that they work with. They also have the ability to work with many clients or only a few select clients. FlexJob's survey of over 1,000 freelancers found that networking and job sites like FlexJobs are the 2 most common ways that freelancers find clients. Another benefit of freelancing is the ability to choose your workload. You can work as much or as little as you want, and you choose projects that are meaningful to you. You get to focus on the work that you love without the distractions of a full-time job, like meetings, office politics, or office distractions. You can also have a sufficient work-life balance, as per your choice. You get to be your own boss. Freelance jobs offer independence. Not only are you free of the cubicle and 9-to-5 work life, but you also have the ability to work alone, and for the most part, where you are most comfortable. This often leads to another big perk of hardly any expenses for commuting. You can also work flexible hours. With such freedom over clients and workload, freelancers have the flexibility that most people dream of. If you want to work full-time most of the year and only part-time during the summer, you have the flexibility and control to make that decision. And best of all, you get to decide your own worth. The following jobs are popular across the world, and you can make a career out of any one of them. The first is content writing. Writing in English or any language may be enjoyable for everyone. However, when it comes to professional writing and presentation of the story, expert freelance content writers are in huge demand. While every business, big or small, needs content, the field of content writing has attracted a large number of content creators. These include writers for websites, writers for white papers, emails, etc. Content writing is a field where one will find full-time writers as well as part-time freelancing writers. The second is graphic design. A freelance graphic designer is a creative professional who produces a design using visuals. Their job is to assemble images, graphics, and text creatively using technology, tools, and computer software. These graphics then visually communicate ideas and information to the consumers and clients. The projects taken by graphic designers usually include developing company logos, company letterheads, brochures, postcards, greeting cards, invites, and so much more. They are also engaged in creating pages for social media like Facebook, Google+, web advertisements, web pages, and application pages for companies, and any other related on-screen design. Next, we have photography. Freelance photography falls under the category of self-employment. As a freelance photographer, you would take up client projects, work on multiple projects at the same time, and fulfill clients' photography requirements, primarily relying on your own skills. It's like being a one-person company. You are the boss, the marketer, the photographer, and even the administrator. Freelance photography comes with a lot of exciting challenges and hurdles. It allows you to be self-reliant and have creative freedom. You have to dedicate the time and energy to build your brand and clientele. Draw the attention of people to your work and have people remember your images. If you love your independence and have an entrepreneurial streak, nothing more is exhilarating than facing these challenges that come with being a freelance photographer. Next is a home food business. For the person who enjoys cooking or baking, learning how to start a home food business is a great way to combine a hobby and a career. Like other businesses, a home-based food business requires a lot of research and planning to start. However, you will require additional permits, inspections, and marketing strategies before being allowed to make a sale. Next, we have social video marketing. Social video marketing is a component of an integrated marketing communications plan designed to increase audience engagement through social activity around a given video. In a successful social video marketing campaign, the content, distribution strategy, and consumer self-expression tools combine to allow an individual to add their voice or co-create value to a piece of content. Then they further disseminate it out to their social acquaintances. Social video typically benefits from a halo effect cast by the influencers of a given society. Social video marketing draws on consumer culture theory, economic theory, and social theory around the psychology of sharing. Social video marketing differs from social marketing, which has the intent of influencing behavior for social good. Web design and development. A freelance web developer brings a client's website vision into reality. But the path in this career field isn't always as straightforward as it might be for other professions. Today's technology makes it possible to pursue careers outside of the traditional 9-to-5 realm. Many web designers, developers, and programmers are self-employed, which means that they work for themselves on a contractual basis. There are benefits and drawbacks to becoming a freelance web developer, but these professionals play a significant role in how people view, access, and engage in the internet. And finally, we have video editing. The basic role of a video editor is to assemble raw recorded material into a compelling finished product. They combine footage with audio, graphics, and effects to portray a clear narrative or message, and are responsible for making key creative decisions during post-production. For short-form editing, they can work on anything from an advert to a piece of branded content for social media.